You're listening to the Beyond 50 radio program, and thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Daniel Davis. It seems that we're moving into a world where no longer do we equate success and money within the same sentence. As you see many celebrities today, it seems that being charitable is becoming more and more chic. Is it that they're trying to uprise their celebrity status? Or perhaps they're trying to take their influence and show us what we need to do is be more mindful about what we do with our lives. Sort of a different way of re-equating what success really means. It's not about material possessions anymore. It's about what you're capable of doing with the energy that you've been blessed with. Joining us here on the Beyond 50 radio program today is our guest, Anand Rajendran, and he's going to share with us today what the art of living is all about. This is a gentleman that's been able to facilitate seminars for over 300,000 people around the world. And he's here with the Beyond 50 radio program today to share with us what some of that magic is and how we can live more mindfully. And Anand Rajendran, thank you for joining us here on the Beyond 50 radio program today.
It's my pleasure.
Now, I'm kind of curious, what is art of living?
Just to tell in one sentence, appreciating and being grateful to each and every moment of our life is called the art of living. So there are so many gifts what the nature has given to us, and being grateful to each and every moment and start celebrating life. So start learning to how to celebrate life and enjoying each and every moment of our life is called the art of living.
Yeah, it seems to a lot of people when we hear the word or when we hear the phrase celebration of life, sometimes probably a lot of people just don't understand what they're supposed to do, and especially here in America, we're so filled with the self-help philosophy. It's on shelves everywhere of people showing us steps and ways and strategies and secrets of approaching a life that's worth living, the real, the magical you. Now, what are we truly talking about here and the way that you're sharing it with our listeners today?
Yeah, our quality of life is directly proportional to our state of mind. So if our state of mind is calm and composed, then whatever activities, whatever we do, we start enjoying each and every bit of it. So in the art of living, we teach you a very, very powerful breathing technique called Sudarshan Kriya. So 20 minutes practice of Sudarshan Kriya eliminates all the toxins from the body and makes us energetic, enthusiastic for the whole day. So whatever actions usually when we do in our life, we do as a expecting joy out of the action. But when we do the Art of Living course, whatever actions we do it as an expression of joy. And I have conducted this course for so many tens of thousands of people around the world. And regular practice of Sudarshan Kriya, there is a huge difference in it relieves anxiety and depression, and it enhances the improved memory and focus, and it reduces the cortisol, that is the stress hormone, and there is improved sleep patterns. There is a benefit in the immune system, and it enhances the health. And there are so many research which has been conducted about the healing benefits of Sudarshan Kriya, which says antioxidant system is stimulated, and there is a huge increase in natural killer cells. So there will be a holistic difference in all aspects of life when we do the Art of Living course and when we practice Sudarshan Kriya.
Well, it seems to me to make sense that as you're doing this particular breathing exercise, that in a world today, it's not just the actual toxins that we may be taking in on our food and our water, but also the kind of toxins that are very subtle, such as just maybe information overload and, electromagnetic overload as well. More and more people, they watch, more television. There's a lot of that noise in the world. Now, is this a state or an exercise that might be able to move people to be not only more mindful, but to be able to appreciate becoming more still or even still-minded?
Yeah, what you say is perfect. Just 20 minutes of practice takes out all the stress from all the systems, and taking a like how we take when we take a shower, how we feel very fresh. Like Sudarshan Kriya is taking a shower inside. So each and every cell of our body is oxygenated, and you feel so alive and enthusiastic for the whole day.
That's got to be exciting to feel excited, after 20 minutes. I mean, that is a pretty good 20-minute breakfast, actually. Now, is this something that you do starting in the morning? I mean, obviously, if it's for the whole day, that's probably the intention, but you can pretty much do it any time of the day, right?
Any time of the day we can do, but personally, I prefer doing in the morning because whole day will be enthusiastic and energetic. But any time of the day, actually, you can do this.
Okay, sounds reasonable enough. Now,
one more experience, what I like to share is usually when you travel from this part of the world, when you travel from USA to India or India to USA, just for body to go through all this jet lag, it usually takes about a few days to few weeks, depending upon person to person. When I last landed in John F. Kennedy International Airport about a few weeks back, all I did is after this long flight, came home, had a shower, and did Sudarshan Kriya, and in half an hour I was ready for addressing a huge conference. About 200 people were there. So whatever imbalances in the system, Sudarshan Kriya balances the whole thing, and you feel so much alive, enthusiastic for the whole day.
Now, tell me how this breathing works to basically flush out pretty much all the toxins in the body.
Yeah, we in our normal breathing, we hardly use only 30% of our lung capacity. So,
especially here in the West. Lots of shallow breathers here in the West. We need to learn to breathe deeply.
Yeah, so we hardly use only 30% of our lung capacity. So that is why after a few hours, we feel very tired. So in Art of Living, in Sudarshan Kriya, we learn how to use full lung capacity, and more than 90% of our toxins are thrown out through the breath. Our breath plays a very important role in our life, and the breath is the connecting link between the inner world of the mind and the outer world of the body. And we have these 7 levels of our existence: the body, breath, mind, intellect, memory, ego, and the being. So meditation works by bringing the level of being to the mind, and with the breath, we bring this effect to the physical level as well as. And this Sudarshan Kriya makes us alive. Just 20 minutes practice, and it makes us alive each and every moment of our life.
Now, I understand that you were inspired to begin teaching these classes or courses in the Art of Living by Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. Now, what had happened during that particular seminar that a light went on for you and you said, this is pretty much my life calling or my work?
Okay, just to summarize, I was working as a IT engineer in California. Before also I was in IT, now also I'm in IT. Before I was in information technology, now it's like inner transformation. So basically, in just to summarize in one sentence, very, in my career growth was in leaps and bounds, and very soon I reached like the peak of the career, and whatever money can buy, everything was there. But everything was there, but something was not complete in life. So when I did the Art of Living course, the joy, the satisfaction, the contentment, what I got was mind-blowing. So I thought whatever joy I am experiencing, I should share this joy with others. So that is how I was inspired by Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. And I started teaching the Art of Living full-time from May 2002.
Okay. Very good. For those of you joining us, you're listening to the Beyond 50 radio program as we're talking with our guest today, Anand Rajendran, about the art of living and especially the art of breathing to be able to get yourself balanced and still and engaging in life so you can enjoy the celebration of being alive. Now, when you're doing this breathing exercise, as I understand, Sudarshan Kriya, how does that affect an individual, not just by themselves, but in their relationship to other people?
Yeah. However, we try to hide what you feel. It definitely reflects on our face and in our actions. So when you feel good inside, naturally our relationships will be good. And trying to work on the surface or just the relationship aspect without feeling good, deep inside, it doesn't seem to work. So basically, people who are trying to be what they are not, they become very unnatural and they create more tension and stress. So that is why one must go deep into the source of one's nature and one's being and come from there. And I don't say that you will never get upset again in life. You may still get upset, but the quality of our life will not be same. You will not get so much caught up in your emotions for long periods of time. And people have found that after they do Sudarshan Kriya, they are able to come back to themselves where.
You know what I find interesting is you're talking here when you say that this is something that as you can become angry or upset or even sad, whatever the case is that you're right. People will tend to hold on to that and they'll just own it. In fact, they identify with that as who they are. And you see so many studies, especially in the last 20 years or so, in the relationship of emotions and the onset of diseases such as cancer. And that when you get to that authentic center of yourself, which it sounds like Sudarshan Kriya helps people do, again, this is for 20 minutes a day that you do this breathing exercise, is that you'll allow those emotions to come and go as they will, so you wouldn't see yourself holding on to that and causing that particular polluting stillness that causes sickness and disease and whatnot.
Yeah, that's perfect. What you said is right. Still, you sometimes may get angry, but what I can say is that recovery time is very, very fast. And usually, so many courses when I conduct, I observe that first day when they come for the course, they come with so much emotional baggage, and people hold on to grudges about so many people from last 20, 30 years. But this powerful technique of Sudarshan Kriya helps them to just let go of the whole past, and in 6 days, they just become like a newborn child.
In 6 days?
This is basically a 6 days program,
okay.
3 hours per day, and totally it's about 22 hours spread across a week. 3 hours in a day, and weekend, Saturday and Sunday will be a slightly extended session. And in 6 days, so many people come and share with me that in their 50, 60 years of life, the 6 days was the best 6 days in their whole life.
Well, that's always encouraging to know that they finally know what it feels like to be alive. I mean, that's what's exciting about the possibility of how this works.
Exactly.
Now, I have a question for you. I see that it's Sri Ravi Shankar, okay? I see that you were a senior software engineer that was in San Francisco, and I find that interesting for anybody who's seen the Monterey Pop Festival. Is this the same Ravi Shankar that was in that particular festival?
Which festival is this?
It was the Monterey Pop Festival in San Francisco. I think it was right around 1969, 1970. And Ravi Shankar was actually this Indian who played this just phenomenal sitar. That's who I'm talking about. Are you familiar with that one?
That is Pandit Ravi Shankar, and he plays music. So this is Sri Ravi Shankar, who is the founder of the Art of Living.
Okay, so, yeah. I'm just sort of having fun seeing the similarity. Here's Ravi Shankar in San Francisco and you all within the same sentence. I was just kind of curious about that. So now, how about... in your mind, is there a distinction between religion and spirituality? Sometimes when I talk with people about this, they say no, and I say, well, no, to me it seems religion is more of a practice of your spirituality, but how do you view this?
Basically, spirituality is the essence of all religions. There is some common trait between all religions. It is spirituality. It is spirituality. In spirituality or in contact with the divinity deep within. And I can give you an example of the banana and the peel of the banana. So if you see the core part of all religions, everything is same, but the symbol and rituals differ from one religion to the other religion. So the peel of the banana is the religion, and the fruit of the banana is the spirituality. Spirituality is honoring our life, and spirituality is love and compassion and service. And the communication with God happen only in spirituality. Religion is the external thing, though the central part of every religion is spirituality, but fortunately people are more stuck in the outer periphery rather than reaching the center chord, that is the spirituality.
Well, the reason I ask that, too, is the fact that I have seen people, even friends, over the years who feel frustrated. They find the necessity to perhaps attend a church, community, spiritual center, and it's like they're going through the motions, but they don't realize that there's deeper work to be done, and they find themselves unsatisfied, as though going to God, if you will, was supposed to make them this constantly blissful person, and they're just not finding it there. And so that's why I wanted to ask that, to see what the distinction was. So hopefully our listeners today who are feeling that frustration in their lives, that disappointment, that sense of anxiety of where is this happiness that supposedly religious people are trying to pursue, find, and hold on to, and how come I'm not having it for myself, to realize that, as we were talking about earlier, that the practice itself is about allowing people to allow their emotions to come and go, for them to be, as you said earlier in the program, to be at their authentic center of who they are, their fullest, expression of who they are. And that's what your course in the Art of Living helps people to do, is to find that center, that true center of who they are, and how magnificent and different it is to just be alive, an individual as they are.
Yeah, that's perfect. So people started...
I must be just getting lucky here. Now, how about business and how people have actually transformed the way they think and feel about being in business, being successful, earning a living, things such as that? How has this helped people, I guess, transform, if you will, to where what they're doing either serves or no longer serves them anymore?
You mean to say how we can relate business and spirituality?
Sure.
Yeah. Often business is looked down upon spiritualists, and spirituality is put off as non-practical by businessmen. But all I can say is spirituality is the heart and business is the legs. And that is what the ancient people conceived. An individual or a society is incomplete without both these aspects. Business brings the material comfort, and the spirituality brings the mental and emotional comfort. So spirituality brings ethics and fair practices to business, and in body-mind complex, depriving anyone comfort means depriving both the comforts. So you cannot talk spirituality to the poorest of the poorest people without taking care of their basic needs, and they need to be supported materially. And there is no spirituality in the world that is devoid of service, and service cannot happen if material needs are ignored. And service cannot happen only through the lips. Service
we certainly hear a lot of that.
Yeah, and for service to move, you need legs. Every system has its flaws, as capitalism exploits the poor, socialism dampens individual creativity. Spirituality is the bridge between socialism and capitalism, and spirituality gives the heart to serve to the capitalists, and the spirit to innovate the socialist. And usually, talking about success and spirituality, all I can say is the smile on our face, which nobody can take away, is success. It is a sign of success, and it can come only through spirituality. Unfortunately, what has happened is, what do we call usually successful, or whom do we call a successful person? Or in the present days, especially in this very, very hectic schedule, what are the signs of success? Is like people those are having ulcers, blood pressure, fear, anxiety, problems. So all these are signs of success. And when we just look at all the people in power, there is so much, such a struggle for power, and they are not happy. Then when they have the power, there is so much fear that they don't want to lose it.
Right.
To maintain it, again there is a struggle, and when they are lost, it in the memory of that power makes them miserable. So a smile that comes from the depth of an innocent heart and the freedom which we are able to feel in life, these are the signs of success.
I remember many years ago there was a movie starring Bill Murray, which was kind of unusual for him to play. It was more of a serious role back in the days of Ghostbusters and summer camp and all that. And it was called The Razor's Edge, and he was actually a World War II soldier who comes out, and his girlfriend was born with the silver spoon, and she loved him, but she was trying to be really controlling about what he should do with his life. And so one day he hears about enlightenment. He's wondering, what is this thing called enlightenment? And somebody says, well, you need to go to India to find out what this is. And so that's what he does. And so he's in search all over India pretty much, trying to find out, what is this enlightenment? And I remember there was one Indian that was down by a boat by a river. I think he was cleaning it. And he says, well, a lot of you people from the West seem to always come here trying to find the same thing, but you don't realize that enlightenment is more or less action. It's being engaged in living. It's in your work. It's in your play. It's in everything. And when you think about how, when you were describing earlier, how people who in success, they focus just on that and they just start abandoning these other areas of their lives, or as you talk about somebody who gets power or material, as you talk about, and they're so afraid of losing it, so they hold on to it. And you start realizing that as you're living that way, it's like being in the ocean and holding on to a rock while you're waiting to be saved.
Exactly, yeah.
Crazy stuff. Now, you work with close to 500,000 people from around the world. Have you seen any common themes from the people that you've worked with that really, the suffering that they seem to have, if you will, for lack of a better word, could have just been amended if they had just seen things just a little bit differently? What were some of the common themes that you've seen with these people that you worked with?
Common theme is, if you see, everybody requires that help, and everybody is looking for a way to just go deep inside, and everybody is looking for that contentment and that satisfaction. And I think the practice of Sudarshan Kriya and meditation gives that inner contentment, basically.
Amazing. Now, how can people find out more about these Art of Living courses, and especially how they can begin learning to do the breathing exercise that we've been talking about here of Sudarshan Kriya?
We have this website called www.artofliving.org, which gives a complete details about the various courses all over USA. And one more wonderful thing what I wanted to share is we conducted this course for, we had a project called Project Welcome Home Troops, basically for all the, and so many thousands of people underwent this course, and there's so much huge difference among the troops, and so many people shared that they were not able to sleep for so long, and finally they found a method. And after doing Sudarshan Kriya, they find so much difference. And we have conducted this course for more than 100,000 prisoners all over the world, and there is a huge difference. There are so much changes in the inmates, and the results are simply mind-blowing.
That's really exciting to think that even if you're in a place, for instance, as you were just saying, to be in prison, you're paying your debt to society for a crime, is that you can actually be happy in that place. And it so much reminds me of what Viktor Frankl talked about in his meaning of life, is that no matter what situation you're in, it's up to you with how you feel about that particular situation. And it seems like the art of living shows you that sometimes even when you're in a bad situation, you can learn to appreciate it for what it is. Is that sort of how it works?
Yeah.
I mean, after all, I hated hanging out in the principal's office, but I tried to make the best of it. I actually got to know his family that way, so.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you, it's been a real pleasure to have you on our program today. And for those of you listening, today we're talking about the Art of Living course. And as we were told, you can go to the website www.artofliving.org to find out what the Art of Living course is all about and how you can begin practicing for 20 minutes a day the Sudarshan Kriya breathing exercise. And is there anything you'd like to share with our listeners in closing here to kind of maybe motivate them in the right direction and feel that everything is okay?
Yeah. One thing what I like to share with all the listeners is we cannot add years to our life. We cannot add years to our life, but definitely we can add life to our years by doing the Art of Living course.
Well, very good. Again, we want to thank you very much for joining us today, and our guest, Anand Rajendran, joining us here on the Beyond 50 radio program. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you. And we want to also thank you, the listeners out there. And again, to find out more about this Art of Living course and how you can begin practicing the wonderful healing and spiritual effects of Sudarshan Kriya breathing, and this is just for 20 minutes a day. And as I understand, it takes about 6 days where you really begin to feel the benefits, which is good because it helps you detox your body, not only of just the little chemical stressors that may be in your body, but also those emotional, mental ones there as well. It gets you cleared up so you can get more to a place of center of who you are so you can begin living more authentically. And again, just visit that website, www.artofliving.org. And in case you didn't have a pen or a pencil, you can always just shoot to our website. That's Beyond 50 Radio, 50 with a 50, beyond50radio.com. And also sign up for our free weekly e-newsletter and visit our blog, and you can find out more about this and the other exciting things that Beyond 50 wants to share with you. Because remember, if you're not living your day past halfway, then you're just living the way you are. Thank you for joining us today, and be sure to join us this Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for another exciting program. I'm Daniel Davis, and remember, live your day past halfway.